We just finished up the third and final regional for RLCS in North America, and my goodness golly, the stakes were high, as there were about 10 teams who had chances to make crazy things happen, and they definitely did not disappoint. Also, hey, it's nice to see y'all again. Let's get into it. A little overview of where everybody stands right now is not a single spot for the Spring Major has been taken yet. The teams that have a chance at making the Major are SSG, Complexity, FaZe, Gen G, OpTic, Furia, Version 1, G2, and NRG. It's anyone's regional and it's anyone's spots. This regional is probably the most important regional of the season for all of these teams. Speaking of the teams, these are the teams that participated. Starting off, we see FaZe beat G League in 4, G2 beat M80, and Complexity sweep Team Axel, formerly known as Accelerate. OpTic starts strong, taking down PayPal Rebellion in 4. SSG sweeps Dignitas, and Gen G goes to a Game 5 with Sup and survives, moving forward. Furia and NRG battle it out, with Furia winning in 4, which means NRG's only chance at making the Major and Worlds is to make an incredible lower bracket run. Version 1, who won the last regional and also now have Dan the Man in Beast mode, end up falling to Koi in a Game 5, which makes things very spicy. Moving on, FaZe is sent to the lower bracket by Furia in 4 games, making their major hopes a little tougher to achieve despite already having a world spot. G2 beats Koi in a Game 5, Complexity falls to OpTic, who have made an incredible turnaround, and I hope it continues to go well for them. SSG comes out hot and sends Gen G to the lower bracket as well, which also puts their major contention in question. This is wild so far. This lower bracket is stacked because of my favorite word, depth. Time for some eliminations. G League is sent home by a hungry NRG, who look like a completely different team from the last 2 splits. Shopify survives a Game 5 with Team Axel, formerly known as Accelerate. V1 sweeps M80 and Dig goes to a Game 5 with Sup and come out on top. FaZe then turns around and sends Dignitas home. Shopify sweep the Fish. Complexity beats V1, which means that V1's major chances rely on Shopify beating FaZe. So that's a tough pill to swallow. And NRG falls to Gen G, meaning they can't make the Major or Worlds, which will also mean that this Worlds will be the first Worlds to not feature the captain, Garrett G, which is devastating to say the least. Are you keeping up with all the craziness so far? Good, because it's about to get even more crazy. Gen G beats Complexity in 4, which means Complexity's major hopes are on the line. They're relying on Space Station to beat OpTic. FaZe beats Shopify in 4, which means that V1 becomes the only team to win a regional and not make it to the Major, which is just wow. But wait, there's more! Back to the upper bracket, Furia beats G2 in 6, and then Space Station sweeps OpTic, securing their spot at the Major as well as Complexities. This also means that despite Daniel leaving and winning a regional, his old team is going to the Major, and he is not, which is just, it's so, I can't believe you can win a regional and not be locked into a Major spot. Like, what was that word again? G2 sees all of this going on and says, don't leave us out, and beats Gen G, which doesn't clinch anything, but means there might be some tiebreaker matches if everything plays out a certain way. OpTic's fate is now in their own hands. If they beat FaZe, they clinch the Major. There's only one problem. OpTic has lost to FaZe 19 times in a row. And then FaZe jumps out to an early 3-0 lead in the series, so let's just take a quick dive into the mind of Retals.
Space Station Gaming. I was actually on Space Station Gaming for the better part of 2.5 years. After the World Championship, I was informed that I was dropped the day after we got knocked out, and that is, you know, when I came to OpTic.
A lot on the line for Retals here to prove that it's the wrong choice.
It's you know, a new start. It's every split you get a fresh start. Obviously there's world point, overall points, but for the Major, everyone starts at 0.
Leading 3-0 in the series. Now they're down 4-0 in Game 6. It's another goal for OpTic. If they had bumped Typical, it was a wide open net. Oh, nobody's back. Magic clear. Cherry picker. And we're going to Game 7. And all the time in the world again. Now Retals will close out. AJ ahead. Can Miss catch up? No, he can't. Typical over towards first killer. Was not too strong. Retals will spike it. And OpTic Gaming completes the third North American reverse sweep. Congrats on OpTic. We'll see you at the Spring Major.
To the world's surprise, OpTic comes back and reverse sweeps FaZe, meaning that Retals has reverse swept 2 teams now in NA, And First Killer has been reverse swept twice in NA, and OpTic clinched their major spot in probably the most dramatic fashion possible. Things get even more spicy because there is a chance that the two NA teams who have already clinched a spot at Worlds may have to battle it out in a tiebreaker for a spot in Boston. I can't breathe. On to day 3, G2 takes on OpTic. They need to win in order to secure their major spot, but fall to OpTic in 6. In the upper bracket, we see SSG and Furia battle it out to secure grand finals. This series is amazing and goes to a game 7 with Furia taking it. SSG then has to go to another game 7 with OpTic winning in overtime and securing the grand finals. Furia versus SSG for the title of North American Regional Champion, which is wild to say because Furia technically is an NA, but we make a pass because of that funny word. Furia wins the series in 6 and become regional champions, which is awesome, but we aren't done yet, folks. Remember that sneaky little tiebreaker I talked about? Well, it's here. FaZe versus Gen G to secure their spot in Boston. One best of 7 series to decide it all. Naturally, Gen G takes this series in 6 games, securing their spot, so the teams representing the North American region in Boston will be the Green Wall, Space Station, Team Vamos, SAM, and 2/3 EU. Are we down bad right now, or is the competition just crazy? Furia had something to say about it, but then everyone kind of freaked out and misunderstood what he was going for, but I digress. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, bye!